Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is just after 9 o'clock. I'm going to have to get up very shortly. It's cold. It's kind of a cold, dreary day. But I'm going to have to get up very shortly because I might be going to work today. I don't really know. We'll have to see. I'll have to talk to the people and see. Um, Yesterday with the rain coming and going and stuff, we weren't able to. It wasn't a day to work, so I didn't work yesterday. But what I will do is I'll sit here for a few minutes and rub my Rocky on his beautiful gray and brown head, and I'll wish you all a good morning or afternoon or evening or wherever you're at, wherever you are, in whatever time zone you happen to be in when you're watching this. Mm-hmm. Hello, Rocky. There's my Rocky. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm still looking at trucks and baiting con artists and stuff. Oh my goodness. Silly stuff. The vehicle market in Ontario right now is insane. And the housing market is too. I think it's that way everywhere, but in some places it seems to be even worse than others. And Ontario is a particularly bad place anyway. Ontario, Canada. They're trying to make Ontario, Canada a playground for the rich. They maybe would allow a few poor people to stay just to be slaves or whatever, to clean the toilets and mop the floors and, I don't know, change the oil on in their SUVs or whatever. But generally speaking, stock the grocery store shelves, whatever, but generally speaking, they don't want poor people in Ontario. Other than just a few to do some jobs that they don't want to do, you know. And that's what this is. They're trying to drive the poor people out of Ontario. It's funny, my hometown of Perth, Ontario, they didn't like poor people there. And they used to try to drive the poor people out. You know, if you were poor, the police would harass you and all sorts of things would happen. And they did everything they could to drive the poor people out. And they colluded even to keep real estate prices high so poor people couldn't afford to buy a house in Perth and so on. And a lot of poor people actually went to Smiths Falls because Smiths Falls was more welcoming of poor people. And real estate was lower. Rents were lower and real estate was lower. You could buy a house 20 years ago, you could buy a house in Smiths Falls for $60,000 or $70,000. The identical house in Perth would cost you $250,000 back then. You know, it was just that kind of a difference. 12 miles away. And so I've already seen this in my hometown, how they tried to drive the poor people out. If you had an old car, you'd be harassed constantly by the police and the bylaw people and everything, and you couldn't afford to buy a house in Perth and so on. And now I'm seeing it in the entire province. You know, it's just expanded now right across Ontario. It's everywhere that this is what they're doing. So I recognize it when I see it. And it's really sad anyway. Ontario used to be a really blue-collar place, and it was a prosperous